Hi guys, this week it's me on this vlog and I'm here to share about my day in the life of being a mum. It's definitely hard work, but time flies by just so quickly. I've read the comments recently and thank you for the encouraging words. We're keeping up with our YouTube and we're working really hard on it, but it's just that we're so out of time. Jason is working every single day. He is so busy. And I'm always busy at home with Damon. Hence, we haven't really had a lot of time to film a lot of great stuff for you, but thank you for understanding. So I just want to let you guys know what really happens in my day and why I've been so busy as a mum. I'm sure all the mums would understand. So thank you for all the support with my last vlog where I shared about my postnatal experiences. Yes, it was a very fragile stage of my life and I was very emotional, but it was only temporary. Things do get better and it is much better now. I know how to plan my time a lot better now and I'm pretty much fully recovered, but it doesn't mean that just because I'm home with the baby all the time, I have a lot of time on my hands. So seriously, a huge shout out and huge praise to all the working mums out there because it is a super tough job. So maybe after watching my vlog today, you will better understand why we haven't had time to do any filming and editing. Please bear with us. We will film some great content for you soon. So this is where my day begins every single day now. This is Damon's room, the nursery. Damon wakes up every morning, hopefully around 7. That's when his day begins. But he does wake around 4:30, 5 o'clock wanting to feed. So what I normally do is I give him the dummy, or if he's really crying, I feed him and then I let him go back to sleep until roughly around 7, sometimes 7:30, sometimes a little bit earlier. But if he's not up by 7:30, I kind of try and wake him up because I want him to get into the routine of waking up every day around the same time. So speaking of routine, I've actually put Damon on a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. routine. I think putting a baby on schedule, a routine, is so important, and I found my life so much easier after putting Damon on the Gina Ford routine. But the Gina Ford routine is quite extreme, and I tried it for about 3-4 weeks. And I realized that some things aren't really doable, but it was a great guideline for me to get started. So I'll talk a little bit more about the routine as I progress in this vlog. So he wakes up every day around 7-ish. I change his nappy and then I change him into his day clothes and I clean his face and then I get him ready for a feed and I try to give him a full feed. This feed will last him until probably 11 a.m. So no more sleeping in now for me. Basically, I have to get up whenever he gets up. There's been days where he gets up at 5 and he doesn't go back to sleep. And yes, it's very tiring. So around 7:30, 8 a.m. every morning, my helper gets up and I'm able to let her babysit Damon for a few hours whilst I go back to sleep. And I normally have a 2-3 hour nap, and those 2-3 hours are like a lifesaver. It's so refreshing after that nap and I'm ready for the day ahead. So after my nap, I get up and I try to play with Damon for a little while if he's not asleep, because he feeds around 11. Sometimes he falls asleep during his feed and I let him nap for a little while. For breakfast now, because I've finished my confinement period, so I can pretty much go on a normal diet. So I'll either have some soup, vegetables, sandwich, or maybe a bowl of noodles, because I still believe in having like a really wholesome breakfast because you really need a lot of energy. It is quite tiring being a mum, even though you're home the whole day, but it seems like you're just always occupied and there's always something to do. So have a really wholesome breakfast. After my breakfast and Damon's 11 a.m. feed, if he's not already napping, so what I try to do around 11 and 1:30 to 2 p.m. every day is to try and make Damon nap as long as possible. Sometimes he's quite good and he naps for about an hour and a half. Sometimes he's not so great. Sometimes he sleeps for half an hour and then he wakes up and he gets a little bit uneasy, or sometimes he's just like looking around like he's not interested in sleeping, he just wants to play. But I try to settle him back to sleep, and this takes so much patience and so much time. Like for the 3 hours, I'm pretty much looking at the baby monitor every single day and just checking to see if he's resettling himself or if he's falling back asleep, because I read a few books and they said that nap time is very important for brain development for kids. So I want him to get into the habit of trying to nap as much as he can around that period in the afternoon. So if any of you have any tips regarding settling the baby back to sleep, or how I should put the baby to sleep with the right sleep associations, I'm really happy to hear them out. I have been reading online and I have been reading books, but in reality, it's not so easy. I find myself using a lot of time trying to resettle Damon back to sleep. And I'm a little hesitant about the crying down method because I find that he's a little bit too young. Some say it's effective, some say it's not. I've been wanting to try it, but I feel like it's a bit cruel. So if you got any tricks up your sleeves that you want to share with me, please leave it in the comment section, please. Hi guys, guess who's awake from the little nap? Hey Damon, say hello. Hello. Hello everyone. I just woke up. Ayo. Ayo. So every day after Damon's 2 p.m. to 15 feed, he goes through what I call the happiest time of the day for him, where he's just in a constant good mood because he's fed and he's slept. He's always happy and playing. So on days when my mother-in-law, Damon's grandma, comes over to visit, I let them have some time to themselves, and then I can have some time to myself. So I'm able to duck out for maybe an hour or so. I go to the gym, do some groceries, just something normal, like just to get out of the house, get some fresh air, or I go for a walk, which is really refreshing for me. So I feel like I'm still sane, I'm still normal, and I can do something I like during the day. So today I've come to the gym. I've started working out again around 2 weeks ago, so I'm not doing anything too strenuous, just pretty much a little bit of cardio on the cross trainer for about 30 minutes. I find it really refreshing because I have a good sweat, and then yeah, I just feel more awake, and I feel like I don't feel so lazy and sluggish because I'm at home the whole time. And this time of the day, around 2-3 p.m, there's hardly anyone at the gym, which is the perfect time. So I'm going to do about a 30-40 minute workout now. I'm not going to show you my workout, it's nothing interesting, but yeah, just some me time. So what I really like about the 7 to 7 routine, I have a few friends that have put their kids on this routine, is that although your day starts slightly earlier, 7 a.m, but the thing is, by 7:30, Damon is already asleep. So I've tucked him in and he's already asleep. And from around 7:30, he's able to sleep a 5 to 6 hour stretch. So he will wake up around 12:30, maybe sometimes 1 o'clock. So during these 5 hours, it's pretty peaceful at home. It's great because then my helper can have some time to herself to rest up a bit, have a dinner, and I'm also able to have dinner as well. So on days where I don't need to work or Jason doesn't need to work, we try to have dinner a little bit earlier, and if we can, we catch a little bit of Netflix. But he's really busy recently, so he's working pretty much every single day. So when he comes home, it's already around 9-10 o'clock. If he's not home for dinner or if he's busy, I'll probably go to the gym. On rare occasions where we have completely nothing to do, which is pretty rare, we might go out for a date night, and that happens probably once or twice every month. But these 5 hours are so precious because then you can do whatever you like in the 5 hours. And it's really important to put your kids on the routine because then he sleeps well and he sleeps for longer stretches. So I'm really satisfied with this 7 p.m. going to sleep thing that I've got going. So he'll wake up around 12:30 for his night feed, and Daddy is super hands-on with the night feed. He'll pick him up, change his nappy, and then feed him, and then settle him back to sleep. Sometimes I'll help him settle him back to sleep. and from around 12:30, Damon will sleep hopefully until 5 a.m. So after the night feed, I get ready and I try and get as much sleep as I can. So I'm in bed before maybe 1:30, 2 a.m. every night, and I have 3 hours sleep until 5. Yes, that's right. So I have to rush back home now because he feeds around 5 p.m. and then at 6 p.m. he gets ready for a bath. At 6:30 he is feeding already, and 7 p.m. he's asleep, hopefully. So now I have to go back up for my little evening routine with Damon. He is all clean and just tucked him into bed. Yep. Yeah, it's been a day. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's very important not to feel guilty about not being so hands-on sometimes, and it's really important to have some downtime to yourself, because yeah, otherwise if you do the same thing every single day, it might drive you a bit insane. Yeah. So I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.